What is up, SGL? We are back for another Cascadia Derby matchup, this time in the Championship League. We are only having one match tonight, and it's going to be a good one, folks, because we have Axon Rose, SC of the Portland Timbers, facing off against EC Eternal of the Seattle Sounders. This is the only Mazar, and just like yesterday, I will be solo commentating. Now, yesterday, if you want a quick reminder, we had a double header, and we started off with Timbers Army versus Emerald City RC. Now, that was a very, very close matchup. I mean, Timbers Army were on the back foot for much of this match. ECRC came out strong, but Timbers Army saw them off at the end of the day with a 3-0 victory, Loyboy being the key protagonist for that. And then after that, we had the Rebellion versus Los Verdes to finish off the night. The Rebellion seeing off Los Verdes comfortably, but Los Verdes did step up and make things very difficult for the New England boys in Game 3. Now, as you can see right here, it has been sweep city so far. All of our matches have been sweeps. We're hoping this one will not be a sweep. And it's been a while since we've had a 5-game thriller, so please, let's hope we can get a 5-game thriller. And with this kind of matchup, you know what? I'd say it's somewhat likely because these two teams have gotten better as the season has progressed. Both teams have shown potential. However, when it comes to breaking into the next level, they have had their struggles. And the only teams they've been able to convincingly beat were Los Verdes. Now, the last time they faced off against each other, EC Eternal did beat Axon Rose. So we shall see if Axon Rose can turn it around and, just like Timbers Army in the Premier, get a victory over EC Eternal. We start to look at the team stats, we get to see that, you know, there's a bit of a mismatch between them. So EC Eternal have been very potent on the attack. They love to boom the ball forward. They play very quick, and they like to take very early shots. They don't try to slow things down necessarily to try and pick their chances. They go for it. They make sure that you're always at the goal, protecting it, you know, on your toes at every single time. And because of that, they get a lot of shots off and a decent number of assists, 1.58 per game compared to 1.15 of Axon Rose. Axon Rose, though, you know, despite not matching up to EC Eternal on paper, have been getting better and better. They have been working way better as a team. Their rotations have gone way better as well. Their only struggle has been the ability to create chances consistently in the final third. When it gets to that point, they have had some good moments, but for the most part, they just kind of boom the ball forward, give it up, and then you start to see the opposition start to establish themselves, and that pushes the rest of the Axon Rose team back into their defensive stance. And once they get to that point, they basically get pinned back, and they start to concede a lot more shots, which is why they have 3.69 saves per game. And if you remember from the top 5s, there are a couple of Axon Rose players who are higher up in there. And if we look at their stats right here, we can see that AGD Delight has 41 saves, which is absolutely insane. I mean, he has been the bedrock for this Axon Rose side. If you look at the rest of the team, he is the most experienced of the lot. Whereas, you know, the next most experienced players are Hamburger Herder and the Dark Shade. I want to put Canty up there, but he didn't get to play too much when he was around with Timbers Army in their first season. So for Axon Rose, it's going to be a bit of a tough assignment, especially when you look at the players in EC Eternal. I mean, you have a sharpshooter in Huskies, 24 goals in 15 games with a 49% shot conversion. That is absolutely insane. Whenever he's on the field, he will get you goals. And Axon Rose need to be on the lookout for that. Make sure that he doesn't get a free shot. Adifo, good to see you. Chat Toad, good to see you as well. EC is here to chew bubblegum and build a bonfire. Loving all this hype for ECE right here. And I'm sure, you know what? they'll feel confident about their chances. Because the last time they faced it was a pretty good performance from Axe and Rose, but ECE did see them off. Thank you for the message, Funk. Let me see what's going on. Right, so we would have been able to kick off sooner, but okay, now everyone's able to join. We should be good to go. On paper, it looks like it's going to be EC Eternal being favored over Axe and Rose, but rarely are these Rocket League games played on paper in SGL. We might have a chance for some surprising results. So we'll see how it goes when these two teams get on the field and kick off Game 1 very soon. In terms of predictions, I think I'm going to go with EC Eternal winning this off 3-1. Unless Axe and Rose really step up their game and give us a big surprise. But both teams are in. The clock is ticking down to kickoff. Here we go. Axe and Rose versus EC Eternal. For Axe and Rose, you have AGD Delight, the Dark Shade, and Borf facing off against a Daipo, Deepsea, and Philosophy Girl of EC Eternal. So far, so good for Axe and Rose. They've been able to establish their presence nice and early. Ooh, but the whiff is not going to be good for them. Nice pass attempt from Borf. AGD Delight couldn't get to it. Darkshade recycles possession. Gets it off the backboard. No one's really there to follow up, and this has been their biggest issue. Anytime a ball gets off the backboard, someone needs to be there. But in those moments, Axe and Rose just decide to drop back and set themselves up because they don't have much boost. If they can have one person just go there and attack the ball, even with not much boost, they will have their fortunes improved. But in this case, they get their opening goal on the counter. Both booming it up to Darkshade. Deepsea sitting back and waiting, but Darkshade gets there first. And Axe and Rose take the lead against their Cascadia rival EC Eternal. Now we've seen EC Eternal come back from these situations, but without Huskies in the side, they're going to have a bit of a tougher time getting goals. With that said, we can see great individual play here from Deepsea, bringing it to the middle. A Daipo gets in and gets the equalizer straight after kickoff. EC Eternal got themselves going. Great dribble from Deepsea. A Daipo attacking the ball. No one from Axe and Rose able to get out on time. And it is 1-1. Great response from EC Eternal. Let's see if Axe and Rose can keep their heads up and keep it going. But that's exactly what EC Eternal needed after conceding the early goal. That little bit of aggression, that little bit of an extra push. And now the whole team's starting to come up. Philosophy Girl off the backboard. A Daipo in the middle yet again. And he gets it second. 21 seconds after kickoff. Axe and Rose caught off guard. Nobody in the net. A Daipo has an open net to score in. He gets the second. EC Eternal have the second. From 1-0 down, they're already up 2-1. Oh, good pass right there to Darkshade. Now, Delight. Booming it up off the backboard. Can he go up for the double? Yes, he does. Big open net too. But both Borf and Darkshade were not set up to follow up that opportunity. And it might get even worse. But AG Delight barely gets it out. A little bit of an awkward moment at the back from Darkshade. But now, Axe and Rose are coming up yet again. That was a really good opportunity as well. I was just surprised that both Borf and Darkshade were not ready for that final shot, because that was a great fake from Delight, catching all of EC Eternal off guard. But now they need to do some defending, because DeepSea was going up to get a shot off. Philosophy Girl trying to recycle possession, but DeepSea gets bumped out for his demo attempt. Nice center there for Borf. Both Axe and Rose players choosing to sit back, though, and that's not going to work out for them. Loose touch leads to Philosophy Girl, bringing it forward. She's following her first touch up, and now the ball ends up with DeepSea to Philosophy Girl at the near post! And it's that kind of adventurous team play that has given EC Eternal their due rewards. Great pass out to Philosophy Girl, great finish at the near post, perfectly placed. One of the finishes of the season for sure. EC Eternal are up 3-1. And once again, for Axe and Rose, their inability to get those shots off is starting to hurt them. But they have another chance right here. At least they have someone attacking the ball at that moment, and when someone attacks, it pulls the other EC Eternal players out, and that allows them to at least be able to establish a presence. But they gotta get to the ball. They cannot afford to give that much time to EC Eternal for EC Eternal to bring the ball forward. And so far, you're starting to see the team in orange get more and more comfortable, bringing the ball up with relative ease and getting more of their shots off as well, even if they're not on target. Borf getting challenged by a Difo, who's had a big impact in this game as well, getting the first 2 goals for EC Eternal. Since then, he has kind of quietened down, but both Philosophy Girl and Difo have stepped up their game. Now, Delight trying to get the second touch, lets it go. Borf gets a challenge. The ball gets into the middle at the center circle. Delight recycles. No one is there to get to the ball yet again. Delight at least tries to get there, but couldn't make it on time. Borf gets caught up. He needs to get back. Darkshade with a touch to try and get the boost, but he gets demoed for his trouble. But Difo settling on the ball. Bumped. Someone needs to get to the ball and maintain control. Difo does that. Still has control. Somehow Axe and Rose haven't been able to get the possession back. And finally there's a clearance and a whip. This is Axe and Rose's chance to get their second. Great 50. Someone needs to follow this up. Darkshade and Borf crossing wires, but it works out at the end. It's like up, no one there to get to the ball yet again. Now Philosophy Go following up. Borf does a good job defending right there, but gets demoed yet again. Axe and Rose are stuck at the back. Delight needs to get this 50, and he does. Now the ball is at the other end. Axe and Rose need to get this goal as soon as possible to even have a chance at coming back. But after this great defending from EC Eternal, it is game over. Game 1 goes to the Seattle team in orange. You know, after that great start from Axe and Rose with Darkshade getting the first goal, I was thinking, you know what? They have something to work with. They have something to go off of. But the moment EC Eternal got out of their shells and started to really express themselves, Axe and Rose were in trouble. They upped the pace. They got their quicker passing going. They got the aggression going. Everyone from EC Eternal was going into the blue half, pinning Axe and Rose back. When Axe and Rose tried to go forward, they just weren't able to get their passes off. A lot of the times they're just booming the ball forward, and whenever the ball would come off the backboard, no one would be there to follow up. We'll see if they have any subs lined up to potentially come in and change things around, because we know for sure EC Eternal always has players available to make subs. For AG Delight, the guy who lays the foundation, he only had 76 points in that game 1, doing a lot of the dirty work to help Axe and Rose establish themselves, but at the end, they were just outpaced and outmatched. And now we see Huskies and Funk come in for a Difo and Philosophy and DeepSea, sorry. Here we go, game 2 kicking off. And with this Axe and Rose trio sticking after game one, they have it all to do against Funk and Huskies, both experienced players in SGL, both having played against all sorts of opponents at the highest levels and also lower down in the lower tiers. They have been there, done that. They have experienced it all. And that might help them to establish themselves in this game and dominate, potentially. Ball off the midfield. Borf, nice move forward. Darkshade coming up and challenging early. And now the ball's loose in the midfield. Everyone from EC Eternal's back. This is their chance to pin the Seattle team back and get the shot off. Delight trying to go for the double, doesn't get it. Darkshade trying to get it to the side. That leaves an open net. But Huskies couldn't get it on target the first time. A bit of a relieving moment there for Axe and Rose. That could have been the first goal conceded for them in game two, because Huskies is a sharpshooter no matter where he gets a shot off on the field. We talked about this earlier in game one. He has close to 49% shot conversion, which means every time he takes a shot, about half of his total shots go in to the back of the net. But now it's Axe and Rose trying to establish themselves in the orange half. Borf getting up, popping it off the backboard. He needs to follow this up. He does. And he gets met by Funk. Darkshade, awkward situation for him. Doesn't get up quickly enough. The net is open, but Borf is at the right place to pop it away, despite Huskies arriving. Now they need to get out, get the first 50 going, but Huskies is there first yet again. Bit of an awkward clearance, philosophy goal, shot on goal, off target. Funk to the near post, and Funk gets the first goal for EC Eternal. That was coming. EC Eternal had Axe and Rose on the ropes, and all it took was a soft finish at the near post. AG Delight coming out to try and get to the ball, no one behind him, and EC Eternal take the lead. Now we'll see how Axe and Rose respond to this. Surely they don't want to get swept against EC Eternal. I'm sure they want to at least get 2 points out of this. It's doable for them. They've talked about it. We've seen them play better as well. But it's up to them to step up. EC Eternal, though, they're starting to get into gear now. After a bit of a slow start in game two, just like in game one, they are getting themselves in control, but that great 50 from Axe and Rose gets them forward. Darkshade diving towards the ball, nowhere near. Borf losing the 50 out to Philosophy Girl. Delight with a good touch towards Borf, but Huskies meets the ball first. Now Borf tries to center into the middle. That is perfect for Darkshade. Shot on net. Funk with a quick reaction save to keep it out. And with less than 2 minutes remaining, Axe and Rose have a good opportunity to get the equalizer with still a lot of time remaining for their potential comeback. They just have to make sure they can't concede the second. Now Huskies brings it forward. Is Funk there? No, he's not. He chooses to go back. Huskies follows it up off the backboard. Philotrigo coming in late. Borf meets her in the middle. And now the ball is loose. Taken over by Funk. Axe and Rose need to get a good opportunity in right now. If they choose to keep going back and give this much time to Philosophy Girl and co, they will get pinned back. Try as they might, though, they're just not able to keep up, and they get to deal with demos from Mr. Funk, and those might start to become more frequent as time runs down. We are now in the final minute. Still 1-0 to EC Eternal, still anyone's game, but now it's gonna be 2. Huskies with the cut. Funk with the pass. And it's a goal that probably seals the deal for EC Eternal. Axe and Rose had good opportunities, but they couldn't make them count. EC Eternal have 54 seconds remaining. It's 2-0 to the Seattle Crew. Uh-oh. Oh, no. You hate to see that, chat. Yeah, hate to see that. Huskies going back trying to get in touch to take control of the ball, but he knocks it into the back of his own net. Ooh, you don't want to see those kind of own goals. That gives Axon Rose a lifeline with 39 seconds remaining. It is 2-1 to EC Eternal. Axon Rose feel like they should have a good opportunity now to get back into this game too. But they need to keep the ball close to themselves so that they can get some attacks going. And that is not going to work for them. Once again, Borf tried to play a pass, but Darkshade was rushing to the ball. That leaves no one at the back. Open net for Huskies. And he has the easy task of just putting it into the back of the net. Huskies brings EC Eternal back to their 2-goal lead. 3-1 with 25 seconds remaining. And I think that is game set for EC Eternal. And there is the fourth. Now it's game over for sure. EC Eternal win game 2, 4-1, maybe more, we'll see, but there's still time, but this looks rough for them. And we need to pause because AGD Delight did leave the game. We need to see what's going on there, so bear with us for a second. We're doing it live because, well, the interface does not want to get out of this game because it thinks we're still live. We're going to pause it right here for now. We need to wait to see if AG Delight could come back, and once he comes back, we will get back into it. We just make it so it's not so quiet. There you go. Anomaly, good to see you, man. It indeed has gone Husky. Once he stepped up, got into this game too, you could start to see the goals flowing in, and you know what? For Axon Rose, that did spell trouble at the end. Been trying to get Turns MMR up in 3-cent. Unfortunately, we went down way down. Oh, come on. Don't tell me you guys went down like multiple ranks. Can't be that bad, right? All right, looks like everyone is in. So what we're going to do is we're just going to restart from kickoff. And we will be kicking off very soon. Oh, I forgot the audio. One sec. There you go. Here we go. 15 seconds remaining. I mean, game 2 is pretty much sealed for EC Eternal unless it's a crazy comeback, potentially. That could have been the opportunity, but Huskies was back there to make a comfortable save off a Borf shot. So clock ticks down to 0. EC Eternal have sealed the deal in game 2. They are now on match point. Just unfortunate for Axon Rose with the internet issues as well. Hopefully that gets better for them. As with EC Eternal, once we saw Funk coming, I mean, he got 2 goals off of 6 shots. I mean, he is really difficult to deal with. You don't want to gift him opportunities as well. Axon Rose have it all to do in this game 3. Potato teammate for third, says Anomaly. Oh, I see, yeah. Oh, I get you. Yeah, I mean, once you have those kind of bad runs, it's worth just stopping the session early and just trying to take it easy. I totally understand that. not like you can pause, you know, like you can in like in the private matches. But here we go. Game 3 kicks off now. EC Eternal on match point, looking to get a sweep and avenging ECRC in the premiere. But Axe and Rose still in this. If they get the first goal, they have a good chance of keeping themselves in this whole match if they can get the victory. But to have it all to do against the Daipo, Deep Sea, and Huskies. No subs 2 games in a row. I think that means that this is going to be the only trio available for Axe and Rose. And they have started off poorly here in this game 3. Deep Sea intercepting Borf's touch. A slow roller into the open net. Borf tried to get back on time, but couldn't get in front of the ball. EC Eternal are up 1-0 after only 26 seconds played. Oh, but might they get the equalizer right here? And Axe and Rose have responded well. Borf with the early shot. Adifo trying to get to position, gets bumped away by the assist maker. And Darkshade gets the equalizer. 1-1, and it's only 12 seconds after kickoff. This should give Axe and Rose a bit more confidence, but this moment might as well open with a beautiful touch to control the ball, and all he had to do is dribble it into the back of the net. Axe and Rose are up 2-1. We have not even played a full minute. Wow. What a sequence of events that was, chat. Absolute insanity. Didn't expect Axe and Rose to be able to come back like that. Their heads have not dropped. Their heads are held high right now. And they are in it to win it in this game 3. Going high up, Darkshade gets a loose touch into the middle. Borf needs to make the save. He can't. And Delight tried as well. Both missed the ball. And Adifo gets the equalizer not too long after kickoff. But he has Huskies to thank for interfering with the 2 defenders. Now we'll see if EC Eternal can get a quick fire lead, just as they did in game 1. So far so good. Borf keeping it out. EC Eternal, we know they can step it up. We know they can wrap up the pressure. Bit of an awkward moment right there, but Deep Sea gets back to the ball. Delight, slow bouncer. No one there to go for the ball. Deep Sea gets a pass 1. Waits patiently. Tries to draw both players in for a 50, but he cannot get to the touch. Adifo gets there to clear it out. But Axe and Rose have established themselves in this blue half. This orange half, sorry. And they are looking to get back into the lead. Big clears though from Huskies. The ball's going to the other end. Borf is back there to see it off, but he doesn't want to play it loose. Huskies with a good shot attempt. Just couldn't get it on target. I thought that was going to be 3-2 to EC Eternal. But Deep Sea might be able to follow up with a double. He could not get back. Adifo misses as well. Huskies going for an early shot. He gets met with a challenge. And now they all need to backpedal because Axe and Rose are coming forward on the counter. Now this is, I believe, a new trio. And this, which is why they're looking so awkward right here. They'll go in. First shot off the crossbar, second shot off the post. EC Eternal breathe a sigh of relief. And then Deep Sea comes up. No resistance. Gets the final touch in front of the blue goal. And he gives EC Eternal the lead with 2 minutes 16 seconds remaining. That is the worst way to concede a lead when you're high up in the opposition half looking for your own goal that will give you the lead. And you just couldn't get it on target. Absolutely unfortunate. But Axe and Rose still have a lot of time to get back into this. EC Eternal, however, just like in the first 2 games, they're starting to grow into it. They're starting to get themselves back. Great 50 right there from Delight, but Deep Sea follows it up. He's coming up. What a goal! Deep Sea after his first to bring EC Eternal up 3-2. Comes up with a magical play to bring his team up 2 goals ahead of Axe and Rose. 4-2 with 1 minute 53 seconds remaining. And now it's all unraveling for Axe and Rose. Huskies straight after kickoff gets his goal. EC Eternal are running away with it fast. Axe and Rose are leaking goals. They really need to step back up and solidify themselves. They still have time to come back, but now the task has gone even more difficult for them now that they're down 5-2. I was hoping we wouldn't have a sweep, especially since every other game has been a sweep, but this looks likely to be yet another sweep, unless Axe and Rose can get the goal right here. Dark Shade with a great opportunity, but his pre-jump meant that he couldn't necessarily control the car. Gets a shot off target right in front of the net, and a Daipo adds to the misery. On the counter, Delight missing out on the boost, trying to play it slow. Deep Sea centers it for a Daipo, puts it into the open net with not much boost himself. And now EC Eternal are up 6-2. But the goals might not be done yet. Axe and Rose are still looking for their third. EC Eternal also don't want to finish their goal scoring. Great shot right there from Huskies, but an even better save from Dark Shade, diving right into the middle to keep it out, to make sure that they still have a chance of coming back. But with the game entering the final minute, time is running out for the Portland Timbers boys. EC Eternal are looking to waste time, and this might be yet another sweep in SGL this week. Oh, there's a shot opportunity right there by Borf! He beats Deep Sea with a high floater, and then he had the net at his mercy. A Daipo with 0 boost, Delight interfering, Huskies trying to jump up, but he has to deal with a low shot. Borf gets one back, 35 seconds remaining, 6-3 to EC Eternal. There is still time, chat. Darkshade looking for a demo right there, couldn't get it. Deep Sea brings the ball forward, looking pretty comfortable right now. Gets the first touch, trying to get the 50 right there. Huskies, open net, and you know when Huskies has an open net, he is gonna put it in. I believe that is now game, set, and match. EC Eternal get their 7th, 7-3 with 19 seconds remaining. Yeah, I believe it is all over now. Axe and Rose with a valiant effort, but at the end of the day, it looks like they couldn't do much more. Delight having some more internet issues, but we're just gonna let the clock run down. We are entering the final second, just waiting for the ball to bounce onto the floor. There it is. Sweep number 5. EC Eternal win this 3-0. And that is the championship wrapped up for Week 10. Can we talk about how good Deep Sea was in that Game 3? Wow, he really popped off. Really starting to show off his mechs. Great dribbling, very good aerially. He has the potential to take his game to a whole other level if he keeps this up. And notice how the goal scoring and assists have been distributed across that EC Eternal side. A hat trick for Deep Sea, 2 each for Huskies and the Daipo. 2 assists each for all players. 13 shots in total. 7 goals off of 13 shots. That is incredible. Whereas for Axe and Rose, they really stepped it up in this game 3. They really tried to get the aggression going, but they just kept getting caught off guard. They just got outpaced at the end by EC Eternal. Probably won't be happy to have got swept right here, but it is done. All right, chat, before we wrap things up, we're going to wait to see if we have any interviews lined up for tonight. Enjoyed that matchup right there. Coming in here to show support for EC Eternal. We do have our first interview lined up for tonight. And of course, it's going to be from EC Eternal. Let's welcome on in a Daipo of EC Eternal. A Daipo, you have really stepped up your game. You got a brace in game 3 as well against your Cascadia rivals. How does it feel to not just beat them, but sweep them as well?
It feels pretty good. We took advantage of all the mistakes that were made. You know, obviously they took advantage of the mistakes we made too and scored some goals off of it, but you know, we were able to capitalize on the mistakes, and we had a lot of good team play. It feels fucking great.
Yeah, that's what I want to highlight. There's a lot of good team play from all you guys. I mean, no matter what lineup you pulled out, everyone was just working with each other and gelling with each other. Is this something you've been working on as a team?
Yeah, we play together a lot. I know we try to play together as much as we can, and even like we scrim with Defiance as well, and you know we get it going on during the scrims as well. So it's been great to be able to work on it and be able to work on it with another SGL team as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, practice makes perfect, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. You got to get on the field and play if you want to improve.
Oh yeah. And you know, speaking of playing, you got 2 appearances tonight for game 1 and game 3, and in both of them you've been getting the goals in. Is this something you've been working on, trying to get more goals into your game and focusing more on being a finisher for your team?
I try to be opportunistic. I'm there to finish when the first person doesn't. Like, that's what I try to do.
I mean, of course, at the end of the day, that is probably the easiest way to score goals. When the defense is in disarray, having to deal with maybe the first shot or the first pass to the second shot, you know, you're there to get the final finish. That's how Huskies has gotten a good number of his goals, and he did it tonight again. How good was it to see him get on the score sheet consistently?
Oh, it was amazing. And does that own goal count for his shooting percentage? Because that was an amazing shot. Let's be real.
If only the game recorded them like that. But yeah, that own goal came out of nowhere. I don't know if you guys were laughing about that or what, but it just popped off.
Oh, we
were. Like, what? How did that even go in?
He was trying to push it to the corner, and he didn't get as much onto it as he wanted to.
Right. Fair.
But we were laughing. It was kind of funny.
Fair, absolutely. Let's go back to that game 3 now, because you know, Axe and Rose stepped up their aggression and intensity and put you guys on the back foot. Even came back from a 1-0 deficit to go up 2-1. How did you guys keep your composure in that situation and really establish a presence afterwards?
Honestly, I didn't even really think about it. I wasn't looking at the scoreboard too much. Not gonna lie, I just wanted to get 2 assists.
And you did. You got 2 assists at the end of the day, didn't you?
I did. Which means my average for all the games I've played is 1 assist per game.
Oh, I have to look back on that to be sure. But if so, yeah.
I have 11 assists in 11 games played.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're still maintaining it. 11 assists per game. Yeah. I say 11 assists in 11 games. Yeah, true. You have 1 assist per game. Well, there you go. And you know, continuing on about the game 3. I mean, we saw an absolute banger from Deep Sea as well. Was he always capable of that in your eyes, or did that surprise you all?
Oh yeah. No, Deep Sea's he's been hanging back, but he let it fly tonight. It was great to see.
So,
DeepSeek's always been capable of that.
so you said he's been hanging back. Is that been a common theme for him? Like, does he prefer to just hold his game back in order to support his teammates, or is there another reason behind that?
I think we've been kind of learning how we all play together and stuff, and DeepSeek's kind of been the guy hanging back. But tonight, you know, as you saw, he was up front scoring goals, and it was pretty awesome to watch him. That double he had off the back wall was pretty amazing to see.
Oh, absolutely. That double was like, wow, incredible. Just popped me off. I think the chat was popping off after that as well. So, this is a big result for you guys. Your 4th win of the season as well.
Yep.
Would you say you're satisfied with how your season's going so far?
I think it's been a pretty good season so far, but it's not over yet. We got to see how the rest of the season goes. I don't know, like, nobody really expected us to do much, though, so it's been kind of fun to, you know, be here interrupting things a little bit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I don't know what your remaining matches are. I don't think you'll be playing Los Verdes and Axl Rose again, so now you're going to be facing off against...
We play FSD Azul, Defiance, Rebellion, and Steel Army again, I think.
Yep, that's right. You don't get any bye weeks after this. So,
Nope.
you know, it's going to be a difficult run of games, but I'm guessing you guys are excited about it, right? Is there like one matchup that you're looking at that you're like, oh yeah, we could definitely win this one?
We're just taking it, you know, week by week, but I think after the first FSD Azul match, we felt like we could have done better, and since then we've actually played better too. So I think that's going to be a real good match to watch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Cannot wait for that as well. Right. So that's it for me for my questions. Thank you for coming into the interview booth at Eiffel. I'm going to give you the floor now. If you have any shout outs you want to give, anything you want to say, go ahead.
I'm going to shout out all of EC Eternal. Hell yeah, we'd had a good result tonight. The deserving team won tonight. I'm going to shout out Panda Gur in chat. That's my sister. Let's fucking go. Thanks for showing up. I'm going to shout out all the other Sounders people in chat too. Hell yeah. Let's fucking go, boys. Seattle rules. Let's build that bonfire.
There you have it, chat. Well, love to hear that hype, Adifo. Enjoy that win. Thank you very much for joining me here. Have a good night. We will catch you next time. All right, so as I mentioned at the beginning, just one match tonight. Axl Rose versus EC Eternal. The championship is done. Let's take a quick recap again at the results. Sweeps all across the board. I don't think we need to say much else. The only thing I'm surprised by is EC Defiance sweeping Frontera Azul. I thought there would be more in that, but there you go. And what that means for the standings in the champ is the Rebellion take a 5-point lead. EC Defiance go over Steel Army, though Steel Army did have a bye week this week. EC Defiance will eventually have their bye week. So there's a chance, if Steel Army keep winning, that they'll take second place back. But this is absolutely massive. EC Defiance up in second after the victory over Frontera Azul. And better yet, EC Eternal going up to 4th. 3 points ahead of Frontera Azul. And I'm sure they'll be really happy about that as well. Axl Rose, you know, they wanted more. They just didn't get it. Still have 2 wins on the board at least. Unlike Los Verdes, who've yet to win a game, let alone a match. So, after having played both EC Eternal and Axl Rose, they now have a very difficult run against the rest of the top 4. We'll see if they can get something back, but it's not looking too good for them. All right, so that's the championship wrapped up, but we have 2 more matches for the premiere. Frontera Chrome versus Sounders RC. And El Matador versus KC Cauldron, Friday night and Saturday night, respectively. We look forward to seeing you guys coming back to catch those 2 great matches. Make sure to follow this Twitch channel so that you can be notified of when we go live. If you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel as well so that you can catch the past matches, the clips of the week, and our SGL podcast episodes. But for now, let's end the stream. This is the Only Mazar. Thank you all for joining us for this match. Have a good night, and we will catch you next time. Peace.